Okay, people. We just got through this pretty big storm. This one thunder and lightning bolt about brought me out of my skin earlier. It's probably been a couple hours at least. But yeah, look at this. This came out, let's see. Forgot how many hours ago this was. I guess I could see it. I think it was 11 or 12 hours. It's been I racked up all those views. Look at that. Almost 42,500. But of course, watching TV this afternoon, I started thinking about my in-laws. They're both R.I.P. now. But remembering that John had he asked them, invited them several times, not only in letters, but in talking on the phone. And that they had never, ever, ever visited us in Sedalia, Missouri, 65301. Since we had gotten married September 23rd, 1985, after we met in May of that same year. So, it seems like, and my mom thought it was awful weird, and I'm sorry for my slow manner of speaking, but, excuse me, seems like that if their granddaughter had let on in the least little old bit that she was in some sort of peril, or that she was, in some sort of crap, whatever, in harm's way, or wouldn't those grandparents, when they were both alive, had made a beeline to Sedalia at the drop of a pin if she had, in the least little way, had appeared to them to be inordinarily stressed or needing something. Okay, so one of her aunts, John's sisters, lived at home quite a while until after, I guess, her mom died, or she might have been already with this guy she's with now that married her, but she's like 6 months younger than I am. But my mom had gotten a response back from his sister that was a rapid-fire response to the effect of, well, I think I would rather see my parents dead than to go see John, because she had asked him why they hadn't visited him. But the thing that really bothered her was that when our first son died, they didn't come down. It was as if Mom and Dad had adopted John totally. So this thing with the stepdaughter and her little make-believe thing with the Avon bottle shaped like a poodle standing on its hind legs. And maybe they just weren't receptive to anyone. Maybe they were only receptive to their daughters. And there's another son, too. And I've never met him. Never, ever, ever. he moved down to Florida. He was the director of nursing for a long time at KU. And then the nephew, the doctor, who's in Omaha. But I'm sure that if she had said, Grandma, Grandpa, I don't want to go back home to Sedalia. Why, honey? What's wrong? Well, Daddy does something to me. They would have said, what? Nobody ever came down from that side of the family. Her grandma from her mom's side had called or written, I forget now, mentioning, and she was a traveler, that she was going to be close to the area, and if we wouldn't mind, she would stop by and spend some time with the kids. Like an overnight was all she wanted to do. We're like, sure, come on, Well, at the very same time, we had planned, and you gotta, at the place we got them at, I think it was it wasn't Rent-A-Center, Coast to Coast or something, over in Sedalia, to sign up for the insulation blower. You have to get on a waiting list. So we were to get the insulation blower that weekend, and she was to come like on a Saturday. That we had a little bit of a head start on the Friday, but that was a big old house, 2-story, and they got part of the way through, but before she came. But then they were working while she was there, which I don't think she liked. But see, we were on a deadline to get it back so the next people in line could get the blower to use it. Well, she came trotting in there to the dining room where I was, and she's like, well, I'm hungry. When you going to fix supper? And I'm like, well, I was kind of waiting for them to come in. It'll probably be after dark. When they run out of light, they'll want to quit. Oh, well, I can't take that. I can't wait that long. I guess me and Karen will run up and get some burgers and some fries. Well, while they're gone, they brought pies too, because my granddaughter wanted pies. So she did. She ran up to Griffey's and brought burgers home. It was just her attitude, it wasn't like, well, that'll be fine, Guess I'll maybe could have a tea to take the edge off my stomach for a while. So, and then instead of giving her granddaughter something in the daytime, she wanted to wait until after it was lights out all over the house. And so from our room we could hear her open the door, and well, I guess the boy wasn't there at that time. We let her stay in that room, and she walked down the hall and opened the stepdaughter's door. And what it was, she had gotten her a bra. See, her mother had sent all these old raggedy bras with her, the old kind that had the padding, and they had been laundered so much that the padding had started to disintegrate between the layers of it, and they just really weren't fit to wear at all. So the grandmother wanted to take care of that. Well, I would have, but we were still waiting partly to get benefits or something, or trying to spend what we could on the house. And I had gotten her a few things to start the school year, of course. A little bit of makeup. Let's see, there was a little bit of blush. I didn't get her a bunch of mascara and eyeshadow. I didn't think she needed it, because she'd never really worn it before. And I think I got her a lip gloss. And her hair cut. And her ears pierced. And some high heels, which she really hadn't worn before, so it took some getting used to. But back to the grandparents, who just seemed to not be very in touch. But then, too, what if they already knew from first-hand experience, had caught her in lies before? And maybe she did say something to them, and they're dismissive of it. I don't know, this whole day has been loop-de-loop for me with the weather, and after I got up a while this morning, I went back to bed till afternoon, and then I didn't really have anything to eat all day, excuse me. So when I went out and brought the mail in, the neighbor across the street came running across the yard at me and waving, and had to see what she wanted. They needed a jump start, which I didn't mind doing. So, and it was pretty quick, but I was kind of damp and cold from coming back, having to get out of the truck up there at the road and get the mail. I put it in the bag, try to keep it dry, but baked some potatoes, so now they're done, and the next time I'll just have to heat them up again. Well, the biggest one was kind of not done. It was to the woody stage, is what we call it. So I had to go ahead and put it in the microwave about 3.5 minutes, because the air cooker just didn't get the big one all the way done, so. Alright, well, thanks for listening to me go on. See you in the next one.